It's just so exciting to be here. I mean, we are flying. I don't know if our next guest can keep up, but I'm very excited for our next guest because he is a Hall of Famer at his alma mater, Eastern Michigan University.
Caller Brian?
A Pro Bowl offensive lineman, an All-Pro at one point, a friend of Aaron Rodgers, and a friend of you, the people. He is Thomas John Lang. TJ, welcome. How are you?
Thank you, Michael. I'm doing fine.
Congratulations on the big win against Kent State.
Yeah, 7 wins, man. I'll tell you what, chance to get to 8. I mean, you never know. We could. What would you guys think? I was just wondering this last night of a Michigan State, Eastern Michigan quick lane bowl.
I would say yes, only because I know you and I would get hammered.
Like that would be.
I'm in.
I think it would be awesome, though. I think it would be. I know.
It would be a no-win situation.
I think it would, but I think
no.
It would be interesting.
If they lose, you lost to a MAC team.
Rico, what if Rico?
I would have to change my number. And CJ calling again. I know. Just send it to voicemail. Hey, did you see the game?
Be a long year.
TJ gets out there like Hunter Dickinson guaranteeing victories and stuff, huh? TJ, I do want to ask you about that.
College basketball, are we?
No, TJ, leave it to the professionals. Let me teach you something.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. It's about the unwritten rules. And you, being a former player, there are unwritten rules in football. Now, are you aware of what happened in Michigan, Arizona State last night?
Not outside of, I know Michigan got whooped. Did something else? Something happened. I have no idea what it was.
All right, no. So here's what happened. They're down 27 with under 30 seconds to go, and these idiots are out here running full court press and trying to steal the ball from Arizona State and taking threes. It was a total embarrassment. Then there's a little scuffle, and I just brought up, well, it's funny, like Juwan gets so bent out of shape when people break the unwritten rules that he punched a man last year. And now look at what you got here. My question was this. When you were a player, what is the most egregious breaking of the unwritten rules you experienced? Or did you not let stuff like that bother you?
No, I think, honestly, football-wise would be if you're up, 2 scores, the game's clearly over, and the other team is, diving at your knees on a kneel down. Like what we saw with, who's the Rutgers coach? He was in the NFL for
Schiano did it.
Schiano,
He did it to Michigan State last weekend.
Even when he was in the NFL for that short period, they're like
Tampa.
diving people's knees and it's like a 31 to 10 point game.
Yeah.
You're taking a knee, trying to get out of there, 10 seconds left, and
Yeah,
they're
thing
bull
happened.
rushing you in the chin. It's like, what are
Right.
you doing? Like, it's so bush league. The game's over, man. Like that would probably be the equivalent for me, which.
But you blame the coach, right?
Oh, well, yeah, because in that situation, even the players would tell us, like, I got to do it. Like, my coach is going to yell at me. He's going to rip my ass. Like, he's going to be mad at me.
Don't
like,
be mad at me, but I got to do
it.
this.
It's what he's telling me to do.
I'll understand if you punch me in the face after the game.
Like, I know you're going to be pissed. Like, they're making me do it. I have to do it. So, yeah, no, I think anything like that when it comes to late game situation, whether sometimes I think you could say it's emotion and whether you get pissed off about losing and guys doing some, stupid stuff here and there. But, yeah, when it comes to, that type of attitude, that's definitely coached.
Rico, real quick, I know you wanted to ask TJ's recap of the midterms, and then we can move on to football. Go ahead.
No, I was just wanting to know, can he do the whole show? Can he do the whole show in the hillbilly voice?
Whoa.
In Caller Brian voice? Can you do the rest of the show in Caller Brian voice?
You know what? Mike, how many? I think I've called maybe 3 or 4 times before trying to prank these guys. And every time, like 5 seconds in, Mike knows it's me. And so yesterday, I don't know what it was. I just worked on something. And Mike, that was the first time I've ever gotten Mike that he did not know it was me.
No.
And it kind of threw me off a little bit because I started talking and I was waiting for you guys to pick up. And then I started laughing because I could just picture Mike's face. I was getting pissed about somebody bringing up Tom Brady, but I was proud of myself.
I think it's
that was the first
because you tapped into your hillbilly roots. I think it was just the natural. You really drew upon your hayseed background.
You watch the video, Mike's literally biting his sweatshirt. He wanted to kill him.
My 8 Mile and Woodward roots, deep down south.
I know, but you've morphed into you're like Mr. Outdoorsman now. Actually, I do have a
I'm not
critical
morphing
question
into
about-
John Jansen, but
No.
know
I didn't say a caveman. I said an outdoorsman. Now, let me ask you Lions-wise, because this is where we want to take this later. I think they're coming to New York and winning. And I think we need to have a discussion about what is it going to take. Some people will be all in after 3 wins in a row. But I want to ask you, TJ, because you've been critical like I have. I think you're in an evaluation phase. When will you know, okay, we're on the right track, we have the right coach? What will it take?
I think it would take probably playing these last 8 games at 500 or above level, in my opinion, because a lot of these games you're going to have a chance to win. You
the
look at Jacksonville,
games.
you look at the division games that are still left. I mean, even Minnesota, we all know that was a game early in the
Jets.
season. Right. I mean, so when you look at the remaining 8 games, you say, you know what? I feel confident that there's 4 wins in there. But we also said that about the first 6 or 7 games, and they came out with 1. So that's something that, in my mind, cannot repeat itself. And I think that they turned a corner, the past couple weeks. I think this team, with the youth and guys not knowing how to, build off of that success, and like coaches say, you got to stack it, forget about it, go be consistent with it. I think they got over a big hump last week, being able to do that 2 in a row, and even going on the road and getting it done for the first time. So I think that can go a long way for their confidence. I really do. And even, last year, I mean, we look at the back half of last year, and I think, they were 3-4, maybe 3-4-1, whatever it was, right? But it was right around that 500.
Yeah, but it was a fraudulent 3-4.
Yeah, but I know at that point, the season's already.
You had Arizona who
admitted, right?
Arizona admitted we didn't study at all. Shocker.
Yeah. And even Green Bay was, the second half. Right. No, I get what you're saying, but I think when I look at this team, this schedule, with what they have remaining, for me, it would be getting to, that 7-win period, getting to that 8-win mark where you can look at it finally and say we have tangible evidence that this team is getting better, because they're going to play a lot of games where, quite frankly, like I said, they might be favored in 5 of the next 8. That wouldn't surprise me at all. But those are games you're supposed to win, and I hope to see them, get over that hump and show us that they can go on a legit run.
My buy-in is because last night everybody freaked out because they were in the graphic, and that's all Lions fans wanted to see at 3 and whatever. They were right there in the playoff hunt. The last team win this week and win next week. I'll say the P word. But until then, no. Beating the Giants, okay. That to me, that's an even game. I give Mike a hard time, but I could easily see how the Lions can go into New York and win that game. Yeah. They've got the monkey off the bat where they've actually won a game on the road. The Buffalo Bills, now that's one that tells me this team may have turned a corner when you can go, because in the NFL, TJ, anybody can beat anybody. To sit here and say, oh, you have no chance. You've seen it before, that teams can go out there and win. You want to prove something different to me? Win this week against the Giants. Go beat the Bills. Don't tell me it's impossible. Just go do it.
Yeah. No, and I'm with you. And I think that, even going into this week, I mean, the Giants are a 7-2 football team. I know Mike doesn't think they're very good. They've been winning a lot of close games, though. Right. But even when you look at this Detroit Lion team and you say, oh, they're going against a 7-2 team, you automatically think, oh, it should be, 6.5, 7-point dogs. The fact that you're only 3 on the road, I mean, that tells you it should be pretty even. You know what I mean? And that's why I think the remaining of their games are going to be close. Now, I don't know what Buffalo's going to look like. It depends on what happens, obviously, this weekend. But they're also a team where they don't look the same as they did, the first 5 or 6 games. So sitting here next Wednesday, could we say, hey, that's a game they might – you never know. So I really think that they're close. And even – all the slack that we used to give the coach and the players when they would say, hey, we're close. You're looking at it from the outside and you're saying, oh, no, you're not, because, you don't know how to do it yet. You don't know how to win close games. You're not there. But the last 2 weeks, the only difference in those games has been they found a way to make a play at the end. And they weren't doing that the previous 6 games. So that's something to me that, if that can continue, and they can go on the road this week and beat the Giants, and they can go, and you get a packed house Thanksgiving against the Bills, and you find a way to pull off a close one there.
Well, see, that's the thing.
I think I would be totally bought.
If they beat the Giants, I think you'll see a packed house of Lions fans, because I was worried that this thing was going to be so off the rails. It was going to be nothing but red, white, and blue Buffalo fans jumping off of tables in the parking lot. Just Bills Nation taking over Ford Field.
Still will be, though. I mean, we'll see how I don't think they're going to be able to travel well this weekend because they're snowed in.
Right, but I think at least now, it's like the Packers where they had their fans, but there was still more Lions fans there.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, TJ, had they tanked and lost to the Bears and lost to – that was just going to be – it was going to be Buffalo
it was going to be a
East
tradition.
Or Buffalo West.
Yeah, I mean, and that's honestly how the Thanksgiving Day game has been the last 3 or 4 years. People go down because it's tradition. It's what they do. It's what their granddads did and what their dad – you know what I mean?
Right.
If you go out and get a win this weekend, it's going to be a totally different atmosphere. And that's the one thing I've been very appreciative of so far just being at the games is the fans have been incredible this year. Enrico, I know you've been to a lot of them too. Even when you're sitting at 1-5, I mean, you look up and you're like, they're not giving up, man.
No.
Like they're trying to do their best.
They are willing this team to a victory.
Yeah, normally in other seasons, after you lose a couple games, you win 1 through the first 7. And people stop showing up. These fans haven't done that, and that's a testament to them. And they've definitely. I can't wait to see what Thanksgiving Day looks like because it's just going to have a different feel to it if they go out and win this weekend against the Giants.
I think even if they split. Go ahead, Mike.
It's just like it's not a me thing. Like, here's the Giants' margin of victory this year. And, TJ, this as a former player. You're flying close to the sun when you keep winning these ultra-tight games. It evens out. Here are the margins of victory. 1, 2, 3, 5, 4, 6, 8. And then they've lost a couple games. Here's the other problem. They've only scored more than 24 points once. It was 27 against Green Bay. So they're only going to get to about 20. And guess what? The Lions' weakness in the secondary and that whole routine, Daniel Jones has only had one 200-yard passing game this year. Now, I agree. Wink Martindale against Jared Goff. Goff outside, 35, 40-degree day. I get it. I'm just saying, you'll be in this game. And what TJ just said and what you said, Rico, if they start to be the team that doesn't give it away but actually takes it away, that's the separator in any close NFL game. Mm-hmm. Who's going to shoot themselves in the foot? So all I'm saying is, all right, I'm thrilled my team is 7-2, but are they really the same 7-2 as, say, the Titans? No. No rational football observer could say that.
Yeah, well, even
that's all I'm saying.
Even the Vikings, too, though. I mean, you look at the Vikings, and I kind of put them in the same boat as the Giants. I mean, they feel
agree.
like it.
Every week you pick against them, and every week they find a way to win.
And you can't really say this with it being true because it's hard to win, but it seems like they have a tremendous amount of luck going their way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Buffalo fumbling the ball, on a quarterback sneak, pick. Whatever it is, and you got to tip your cap. They're winning football games, but when you look at it, you're like, okay, there's something clearly different when I watch this style of football.
Well,
the difference is they're winning close games, and even when you look at the Eagles play, they're routing most of the teams too, but they've still got, four other 10 games I think are one-score games. They're just winning them.
TJ, when you start winning close games like that, it almost becomes contagious. It's like losing. After a while, if you lose enough, you figure, you know what, we're going to find some way to blow this game.
But
you may not say it publicly,
right,
but in the back of your mind, you're thinking, okay, who's going to be the jackass that fumbles the ball? When you're winning, you just start believing, you know what? I don't know how we're going to do it, but we'll find a way to win this thing.
And that's the difference, and I think you just nailed it, is now, especially in the past couple weeks, it's almost like setting a different sort of expectation. Hey, let's do what we got to do to get to cringe time, and once we get there, we know we're going to make the place because we've done it 2 weeks in a row. Now the biggest challenge, like you said, it's their confidence.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They've shown they can do it. So now it's about just being consistent with it.
I also think there's a lot that hinges on this game, too, because it's not just playing the Bills next week. It's the Bills on a short turnaround. And I do think talent matters even more on a short turn.